Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome if you're new. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and let's get right into today's video. So for today's video, and I know I am pretty late considering June is almost over, but I'm gonna be unboxing, swatching, and using the Neon Unity bundle from Madam Glam. This was their Pride collection, so it has a lot of different bright colors. So I feel like the name Neon Unity was like a really good name for this kit. This entire collection comes with 8 different colors. I am looking on the website to give you guys a couple more details about this collection. So the opacity levels of these gels are apparently a 4 out of 5. And I will swatch them so you guys will get to see the opacity of 1 and 2 coats. It's just basically saying like this is a collection with very bright colors. The bundle contains 4 different neon gels and 4 glittery neon gels. And what so the first thing I did like about this collection was immediately I was drawn to how pretty these bottles were, because if you look at any other Madam Glam collection, like all of the bottles are just black with a swatch at the top, and it comes with like a little wraparound like paper for the swatch. Like the bottles do have that color on them, but it's more of like a sticker that goes around the bottle. But for these gels, the actual bottle is the color of the swatch. Even the little glittery shimmery colors, I really like that. So these bottles are definitely so much cuter than the other ones. And not only that, I feel like the bottles also match the gels so perfectly. Like when you see the swatch at the top and the bottles, it just matched so perfectly. So for that, I really did like. And also these gels are vegan, cruelty free, 21 free formula, and palm oil free, which means they do not test on animals. They keep their products safe to use for everyone. So yeah, that's pretty much the details about these gels. So I am gonna go ahead and swatch them for you guys, let you guys see what they look like. I did love how easy these applied. I felt like they were like really smooth. And these colors are just so pretty. I love how bright and bold they were. And also I am showing you guys what the names are. I really did like the names. I feel like they match the colors a lot. You can buy this collection as a bundle, or you can buy them separately. And if you didn't know, Madam Glam has this VIP program where it's kind of like a subscription, but for this, it's not like you're paying for the subscription. It's just basically like a savings account on Madam Glam, if that makes sense. So like you won't have to pay for the subscription and then also pay for the gels. So once you pay for the subscription, it's kind of like a savings account where you can just go into your account and buy the gels with the money that you paid with the subscription. I don't know if that sounded too complicated, but it really saves you a lot of money, because once you join the VIP program, you can get these gels for a lot cheaper than just going on the website and just buying them like with a guest account. However, if you didn't want to do the subscription, I do have a discount code that you guys can use to save money off your purchases from Madam Glam, which I will leave up on the screen here, and my link and everything is always down below. All of the brands that I have discount codes for are listed down there, so be sure to check out that section as well. But yeah, I'm just getting towards the end of swatching all of these gels, and so far I am loving this collection. I really love the opacity of these. Like I said on the website, it does says it's a 4 out of 5, so I really like the opacity. I love that it didn't feel really thick. Like the opacity is so nice, but the gels are more like on the thinner side when it comes to like the consistency. It's kind of hard to explain, but it just felt still like really high quality and just vibrant. So after swatching all the gels, this is what they look like. I did go ahead and cure them for 30 seconds in my light, and this here is just one coat. So for the glittery like shimmery shades, I did see that they are a little bit more like less of a transparency. The opacity isn't as high as the other ones, but the solid gels are really nice. I did go over them with a second coat, and this is what all of them look like. I do love this collection. If you want to check it out, everything will be linked down below. And also let me know your favorite shade from this collection down below in the comments. And without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump right into my nails. So I'm starting off with a little bit of nail prep. I don't have to do much. So the only two things I'm going to be doing today is pushing back my cuticles, and then also taking a mini mandrel drill bit and just working that around my cuticle, and also just buffing over the surface of my nail plate. Of course, I'm going to be taking a lint-free wipe and some alcohol and just removing all of that dust from my nails because we don't want any of that left behind. And I did want to include my new, well, not necessarily my new because I did see someone else do this, but I have kind of switched up my peel-off method, and I wanted to include it in today's video because I just love the way it looked. So usually I would use my UNT peel-off base coat from Amazon, which works so good. But I did decide to switch it up only because I loved how it looked once I finished it compared to the nails being glossy. So as you guys just saw, I did take a some cuticle oil and put a tiny dot on my nails and just rub that in. And now I'm going to be taking a matte top coat. This one is from Not Polish. I decided to use this one because, for one, the bottle is just about empty, so I just wanted to have this one for like my designated pop-off method. And usually after my UNT peel off base coat, I would go in with a glossy top coat, but this one is matte. So like I said, I did love how the matte finish look over my nails compared to the glossy. So I may just end up using this method a lot more. And if anybody is confused to why I'm putting cuticle oil on my nails before I apply, like, before I do my nails, this is only for a pop-off method. I create a lot of content, so I don't want these nails to stay on. If I did prep my nails, I would have to cut them down, clip them, soak them off, file them down. So with this method, it's easier to just, once I finish and ready to move on to my next set, I can just pop them off. So if you don't want your nails to pop off as easily, do not go in with this step. You always want to make sure to apply dehydrator and primer. So I just thought I should clarify that for anyone that may have been confused. Once I got the top coat set and cured, I did go ahead and apply my nails using some gel, which I just went ahead and put some gel inside of the wale of the nail and then cured it onto my nails. And after they are all applied, I'm going to be taking these little measuring magnets that I got from Temu. I'll link them down below. If you've seen my Temu haul that I just did a couple days ago, or like a week ago, these were in that nail haul and I've been using them ever since. I love these. They get the nails cut evenly each and every time. It saves a lot of time trying to like measure the nails out. Just go in and cut them with these magnets. I like this a lot. And I did take like 2 or 3 magnets off for my thumbnail. I don't know why, but I just love my thumb a little bit shorter than the rest of my nails. So today I wasn't even planning on recording a video. I just wanted to, I had my mind set on just coming here and swatching the gels so I can know what I was working with for the next time I actually wanted to sit down and do my nails. But when I actually unboxed these gels, I was in love. I love how they look. I was so inspired by the colors. Like, they were just so stunning to me. And so after I swatched them, I just wanted to go ahead and use them right then and there. So for my application, I wanted to do something quick, keeping in mind I wasn't even planning to do anything. So once I got the idea to actually sit down and record, I wanted my application to go by pretty quick. And whenever I want a quick application, I always use Polygel. Polygel is so easy to use. It's so fast. And so yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. I am using this Macart Polygel, which is my favorite nude from them, called a Siesta. And I'm just going to be applying this to all of my nails, doing 2 coats. Well, not necessarily 2 coats, but 2 beads. So for this first bead, I did put a line going down the entire nail, and as you guys can see, I'm just working this over my entire surface. Once it's covered my nail, I am taking my brush and just smoothing everything out until I can get it as smooth as possible. The key to this is you want to have your brush dipped in some slip solution. I always love to use 91% ice purple alcohol. I do know a lot of people like to use base coat or the slip solution that comes in the kit, but for me the base coat just makes it super sticky. I don't like to use the base coat, so my preferred slip solution when it comes to polygel is just 91 or 70% alcohol. Also, I am using a water brush, and this polygel brush is from the brand Covet or Covet Envy. The brand I used whenever I did those like short polygel rockstar nails, I know a lot of people were like looking for the website, like the link didn't work, but she just reopened her website, and I didn't know until I actually like post a video, because I do follow her on Instagram, and I did see like she just reopened her store, so you can go to her website now. I will leave that video in the cards if you don't know what I'm talking about, or like a screenshot or something. I will put it up on the screen if you guys were still looking for like a way to get those polygels or just want to check out her website. But I do love this brush. It's a water brush compared to the brushes that we get in the polygel kits, and I do feel like it helps like just get that product spread it over the nail a lot quicker. It's a lot more sturdier, and I just like this brush a lot. So yeah, this will also be down below with her website. Yeah, so moving on to my next nail. As you guys saw, I did put a line going down my nail, and I just patted that product out over the surface. Once it is like, even if it does look bumpy, I just want to get it spread it out. And once it does cover the area I want it to be, that's when I go back in and start to like smooth everything out. Because if you start smoothing the product out in one area too fast, you may not have enough, or you might get too much like for the remaining areas, if that makes sense. So that's why I love to just go ahead and kind of measure out how much product I'm going to be spreading over the nail, and then start to smooth it out, because if you have too less or too much, it's just going to make the rest of the nail very difficult. And once I get it smoothed out, I do go ahead and cure that first layer. For my second bead of polygel, I do place it up towards the cuticle area for my apex, and that's kind of where I focus that second bead, because this entire nail doesn't need to be really thick. However, I do want to get my apex just a little bit higher up to provide that strength to my nails. And once I get my cuticle area situated, as you guys can see, I don't necessarily try to blend all of it down. I just want to make sure that my apex area looks nice, and then whatever product is left, I just go ahead and add pressure towards the rest of it and kind of smooth it out like an ombre, so that way it's not like going down really thick towards the tip of my nail. And then again, before curing, I go ahead and smooth everything out, keeping a light pressure. You don't want to go in with too much pressure, because that can like poke like dents into the nail, and you don't want that. It's just gonna make a lot more trouble. So make sure to keep a really light hand when using polygel. And then once I got it to my liking, smooth out, I did go ahead and cure that for 30 or 60 seconds, whichever you prefer. I cure mine for 30. I do see a lot of people in the comments asking like, is 30 seconds okay? For me, I have never had a problem with curing for 30 seconds with polygel. So yeah, that's totally up to you, but I prefer 30 seconds because I am impatient. So yeah, I just go ahead and cure that, and then move on to my next nail. Of course, just repeating that same process over all of my other nails. Now that all of my application is done, I am going to be taking some alcohol and just wiping over my nails, because polygels do cure with like a tacky layer. So before filing, you do want to make sure to go ahead and wipe that away. Otherwise, it will clog your files or your nail drill bits. And so just simply, I do start off with a hand file. I do like to get my shape situated first, so you'll see me filing the sides, keeping my nail file like really straight up against my side walls. And then also I make sure to get like underneath the nail, just in case any product I may have swiped down the sides it's like cured underneath. And then of course the free edge area. And when it comes to the top, whenever I'm filing polygel, I do like to use a hand file first. You see me going in over like just the top part of the nail, just really making sure that everything is all even. And something new that I have been doing, I don't know if you guys can tell, but for like the side areas, like the sides of my nails, I am just going in one direction instead of going like back and forth. I feel like sometimes that does take away too much too fast. So just in order for me to like gauge how much I really need to file to make this even, I am going in like one direction. So I'm just basically swiping my file like down the sides of my nails, if that makes sense. I'm pretty sure it's going too fast for you guys to see, but I don't really know any other way to explain it. But that's kind of how I've been sticking to filing my nails now, and I do feel like it gives a better shape as well. And then also I do try to hit my cuticle areas with my nail files because I like to keep my drill like I don't like to use my nail drill that much when I'm using polygel because it is a softer product. So if you go in too crazy with the nail drill, you can file too much too fast. So I like to stick to my hand file first, and then I'll go in with my e-file and just kind of seal in my cuticles, or if I need to debulk anymore, that's where I do that. And also just touches like underneath my free edge area. And that's pretty much how I file. I do finish that off with some buffing just to make sure that the surface of the nail is smooth. And then also one thing I do like to do is go in with a hand file once again just to crispen up anything that may have gotten like dulled out with my buffer. And that's pretty much how I file my nails. I am going to go ahead and repeat that to all of my other nails off camera so it doesn't take too much time. And then of course once I finish, I do want to go ahead and get rid of all of that dust before we start to apply the nail art. And then here's how the finished application looks, which I really love how they look. And now it's time to apply my nail art. So what I'm going to do is take a white gel polish, just put some onto my nail palette because I am going to be doing French tips. But before I go in with the nail art, I did decide to go over all of my nails with some base coat, which is from modelones. And I really like the consistency of this one. I feel like it's like really thin, but it's like still good quality, kind of how I explained like the Madam Glam gels, if that makes sense. Like I love that it doesn't make the nails look too bulky. And the reason for this is because when I go in with the nail art, I didn't want like the gel polish to look like rigid or like look bumpy. I just wanted the nail art to go on pretty smooth. And since I am doing Frenches, I'm not going to worry about putting the base coat over like the cuticle area of the nails, but I do measure up like the side walls where I will start my French tip, if that makes sense, and just go from there. And then once I get on my base coat, I will be curing this on for 30 seconds and then start to apply the French tips. I didn't really talk much throughout the process of me putting on my French tips because it's pretty self-explanatory, and I only showed 2 on camera because this is not going to be what shows. I did go ahead and cure all of those on, and now it's time to apply my color. So I did just pick out in like what order I wanted these gels to go in, so I will be just placing them onto my nail palette really quickly. And I am going to be going over my white Frenches, doing a vertical ombre, or trying to do a vertical ombre with these colors. Whenever I get collections like this, as I always tell you guys, I love to try to use as many colors as I can. And I feel like this was a really great way to incorporate all of them without it being like too much, or you know, without it looking weird, and also bringing that really bright and fun and summery vibe to it. Like, I love the outcome of these nails so much. It was really different in a way, simple but really different once you see how I am going to be doing the rest of the design. And it did take a little bit of extra time putting on my French tips, like the white part, but I was willing to take a few more minutes just to get that done, because had I not placed that base down, like, even though these gels are really opaque, they don't really need a white background to show as vibrant. But the reason I did that is because I'm going to be using 2 different colors, trying to do a French tip, on top of that trying to do an ombre. So it was just really smart to place like a white base layer down, so that way I can kind of like keep the nail neat, because trying to make the smile line using 2 different colors and also trying to blend them just would have been so hard. So the white just kind of helps as like a guideline to keep the nail pretty neat. So yeah, that's basically what I'm going to be doing. As you guys see, I did go ahead and place 2 colors on my nail already, and I did try to blend these out as neat as I can without making the nail just look like a stripe 1 and 2 nail. It was pretty difficult trying to blend these, so I just blended them out the best I can. Gel ombres have always been really challenging for me, so I didn't really spend too much time doing it. I just kind of wanted something really fun that showcased both colors, so I just went ahead and just did what I could. And once I got the ombre of the nail decent looking enough, I did go ahead and cure that, making sure to clean up anything like around my cuticle areas before I do cure. And once I finish, I just move on to the next nail using the next 2 colors that I have on my nail palette. One thing I really did like that I didn't even notice I was doing was how like the colors were set up. So like for my first nail, it was like an orange and yellow. The orange is on the left side and the yellow is on the right in this angle. So like the orange is the solid color and then the yellow is the shimmery. And for my next nail, the pink is the shimmery and then the purple is the solid colors. So basically it was just like the shimmery colors are fading into another shimmery color, and then for the next, the solids are fading into solids. I probably made that sound so much more confusing and long and drawn out than it needed to be. But yeah, I just really love that. I didn't even notice I was doing that until like I just looked at the finished design when I finished. But that's pretty much how I'm going to be incorporating these colors into my nails. Again, make sure to check out the Madam Glam website if you are interested in this Neon Unity collection. I love how bright and bold they were. Everything will be linked down below in the description box along with my discount code, so make sure to check that out. But I'm going to go ahead and finish all of my nails, just putting on the rest of my colors and just trying to blend them out the best I can. And if you are enjoying today's video, you can let me know by leaving a like, subscribing if you haven't already, or just simply leaving a comment down below. I'm working on my last nail here, and I couldn't help but think how this reminds me so much of a watermelon. It was so pretty and I love this combination. So what I am going to be doing, I'm going to be doing some sugared croc print, and I didn't know how I was going to do it with two colors, so I did go ahead and try it out on my thumb first, and this is how it turned out, and I was so obsessed with how it looked. I thought it was going to be a lot more challenging than it was because I have never done a croc print with two different colors, like just trying to make them meet and like just be one line in the center. I feel like that was going to be pretty difficult, but it ended up being really simple and easy. But before I go in with my croc print design, I am going to be top coating all of my nails because once I apply my croc print, I won't be able to add on my top coat, and plus I want that to be like matted and sugared out. So I did go ahead and wipe down my nails to remove any like residue or just anything left behind, and now I'm going in with a top coat, and I'll be curing this for 30 seconds. So like I said, this croc print ended up being really easy and simple after thinking it was going to be really complicated trying to get these two colors to look like one line. But as you guys know, croc print is literally just like just dabbing some polish where you want it. I know a lot of times it's being used with like blooming gel and kind of have it bloom out, but I want mine to look sugared, so I'm not going to be placing any base coat or blooming gel down. I'm just going to go in with the actual like croc print itself. And I am correlating the colors, so for the orange, of course, I am using that on that side. Once I finish, I did go ahead and wipe my brush and pick up some of that yellow. And for the center, I just kind of start like where the first line ended and just kind of drag it out towards the other side. That way it just looks like one complete line but two different colors. Then of course just finishing off the other side, and there we have it. But to get the sugar effect, you don't cure the gel polish. You want to pour over the clear acrylic, let it soak into that polish, and then cure it. And that's how it's going to look really neat and sugared and 3D. And see, that's pretty much all I do. And it turned out so good. I was so excited how these turned out. I really liked them. And then after curing for the full 30 or 60 seconds, I take a stiff manicure brush and just go ahead and remove all of that excess powder so it's not like grainy all over my nail. And it's literally that simple. Like I said, I love how these turned out, and I'm just gonna go ahead and do that for the rest of my nails, just correlating these colors until I complete this set. after dusting off my last nail, that's pretty much it for the nail design. Of course, I'm gonna go in with some cuticle oil to re-nourish my cuticles. And I was gonna add on some rhinestones. Like, I was really thinking about it, just adding one maybe towards my cuticle area, or like one towards the lower part of my smile line area, just to kind of make it a little bit more. But I just ended up going against that because I wanted to keep the main focus on these beautiful gels and just how bright they are. So once I finished rubbing in my cuticle oil, this is how the finished set turned out, and I am absolutely obsessed with these. I love the process of everything. I just love how these colors work together. Like, they're really bright and fun. Anytime I do summer nails, I'm always in love with them, especially when they're bright like this. Also, for my ombres, like some of the ones that was kind of difficult to blend out, me putting the croc print on top, it just takes away from like the imperfections of it, which I really like. So yeah, everything basically played together so well in this set, and I could go on and on telling you guys how much I love the application and the process and the design. But yeah, that basically concludes today's video. Everything I used will be linked down below, so make sure to check that out and let me know which one is your favorite color combination. Mine is definitely that blue and green on my middle finger. I don't know why, but it just looks so freaking gorgeous. And that basically concludes today's video. Thank you guys for watching. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.